Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. Friday. Amazon. Flash briefing.
Jamie, here's your flash briefing. In NPR News. Live from NPR News in Washington, I'm Janine Hurst. Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell says there's still a long way to go to bring inflation under control. NPR's Scott Horsley reports he spoke to a gathering of economists and central bankers this morning in Jackson Hole, Wyoming.
Powell says it's encouraging that inflation has cooled significantly from more than 9% last summer to just over 3% last month. But the Fed chairman cautions inflation is still too high. He stressed that he and his colleagues are determined to get it back down to the Fed's target of 2%.
We are prepared to raise rates further if appropriate and intend to hold policy at a restrictive level until we are confident that inflation is moving sustainably down toward our objective.
Powell says there's still considerable uncertainty in the economic outlook, adding he and his colleagues have to balance the risks of raising interest rates too much or not doing enough to bring prices under control. Scott Horsley, NPR News, Washington.
Former President Donald Trump was booked and released from the Fulton County Jail last night. In brief remarks departing the airport, he attacked the charges as, quote, a travesty of justice. Georgia Public Broadcasting's Stephen Fowler has more.
Trump faces 13 felony counts under a sweeping racketeering conspiracy case for trying and failing to overturn his 2020 election defeat. After about 20 minutes of processing inside the jail, including a booking photo, Trump returned to the Atlanta airport. He defended his actions, proclaimed his innocence,
of course there's a booking photo, ding dong. We all know this.
They're doing is election interference. They're trying to interfere with an
rub
election.
it in.
18 other people also face charges in the
one.
case. For NPR News, I'm Stephen Fowler in Atlanta.
A town in southwest Louisiana is under a mandatory evacuation order as a wildfire moves in on the city limits. NPR's Amy Held reports the entire region is under a red flag warning as hot and dry conditions spur on the blaze and has threatened to spark new ones.
The Beauregard Parish Sheriff has ordered the entire town of Maryville, Louisiana, with a population around 1,000 people, to leave. The town, located about 150 miles northeast of Houston, provided buses from Town Hall last night as firefighters battled to contain a fast-moving wildfire. Working against them, high winds and extreme heat and drought conditions feeding the flames. Mike Strain is commissioner of the Louisiana Department of Agriculture and Forestry.
From this fire, they've already found embers that are still lit 20 miles away.
So far this month, hundreds of wildfires have burned thousands of acres in Louisiana. Governor John Bell Edwards says never before have they seen this many fires amid such heat and dryness. A statewide burn ban is in effect. Amy Held, NPR News.
Wall Street is trading lower at this hour amid news that the Fed could keep hiking rates. The Dow is down 55 points at 34,000.
That's funny. Oh, we're not going to increase. Oh, wait, the Feds could increase rates. Make your minds up. We know that they were going to increase it, even though they just said they weren't just a few minutes ago.
In Spain, the Soccer Federation chief said he won't resign for kissing a player on the lips without her permission following the country's World Cup.
I'm just going to tell you everything and let you pick and choose what you want to believe.
After days of mounting pressure from politicians, players, and even the International Soccer Federation, FIFA, the Spanish soccer chief, José Luis Rubiales, was expected to step down this Friday at an emergency meeting with soccer officials. Instead, he doubled down. He says, I'm not going to resign, and repeated it 5 times. He defended the kiss as consensual, despite the Spanish player Jenny Hermoso saying she did not like it, and her union saying it should not go unpunished. Rubiales said he is the victim of a social assassination. He lashed out against fake feminism, which he called a plague, and announced legal action against critics who called the kiss an aggression. For NPR News, I'm Alan Rusterol in Barcelona.
Maui County is suing the Hawaiian Electric Company over damage caused by the deadly wildfires in Lahaina, saying the utility acted negligently by not disconnecting power lines at risk of falling in high winds. The suit claims the downed, energized power lines ignited dry fuels, including grass and bush, fueling the fires. The cause of the blaze hasn't been determined. The death toll remains at least 115. The number of missing, though, has been sharply lowered to nearly 400.
And if you had electric heat,
crude oil prices are trading higher
and you were freezing during the winter,
nearly 1% at $79.79 a barrel. I'm Janine Hurst, NPR
Now,
News.
there's other reasons to sue that company for neglect.
Hey, it's Aisha Harris from Pop Culture Happy Hour. If you love NPR podcasts, you'll want the new NPR Plus podcast bundle. Enjoy an all-you-can-eat selection of NPR Plus podcasts with sponsor-free listening and bonus episodes.
Like a mandatory
Plus, you'll be supporting
inspection.
public radio. Check it out at plus.npr.org.
That's a legitimate reason.
In NASA News, education and community organizations can apply to receive a living piece of spaceflight history to promote science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. A seedling grown from a tree seed that flew around the moon on the NASA's Artemis I mission in late 2022. On Thursday, NASA released the first data maps from its new instrument launched to space earlier this year, which now is successfully transmitting information about major air pollutants over North America.
People think about these things before they start.
NASA will provide live launch and docking coverage of the Roscosmos Progress 85 cargo spacecraft carrying about 3 tons of food, fuel, and supplies for the Expedition 69 crew aboard the International Space Station. NASA will provide coverage of the upcoming pre-launch and launch activities for the agency's SpaceX Crew 7 mission with astronauts to the International Space Station. In
Unless you
weather.
count that one time.
Right now
I
in
acted as
Seattle,
my own
it's
attorney.
64 degrees Fahrenheit
But we
with
won't
cloudy
talk about
skies.
that.
Today's forecast has some sun and thunderstorms, with a high of 81 degrees and a low of 60 degrees. From NASA. Education and community organizations can apply to receive a living piece of spaceflight history to promote science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. A seedling grown from a tree seed that flew around the moon on the NASA's Artemis I mission in late 2022. On Thursday, NASA released the first data maps from its new instrument launched to space earlier this year, which now is successfully transmitting information about major air pollutants over North America.
All right, Amazon. Off. Amazon. Tell us a joke.
Why don't masseuses like to talk about their work? It's a touchy subject.
Well, I don't know what kind of masseuse you've been going to. I'm just kidding. All right, y'all. Have a great Friday and a wonderful weekend. Wherever you are. Peace, love, prosperity. Rock on.